Yo guys, what's going on? Tom for 2 here, or Chessman on Lost Ark. Today I just wanted to do a video regarding Brelshaza Act 2 Sidereal skill usage as the party lead. I realized I've done videos like this for like Thamine, Echidna, Aegir, but I haven't done one for Brel yet. And if you guys are just getting into normal Brel and hard mode Brel, and you guys aren't sure when the timings are, this is why I'm making this, because a lot of my viewers in the past have said that they found it useful and it's helped them pass the raids when circumstances arise, like with the raid lead dies, etc. So I wanted to do this video. This will be just a hard mode gate 1 and 2. I'll save normal mode for later since the side skill usage is similar, but the timings are a little bit different, and it's very situational. So save that for another time. But before I dive in, if you guys like this sort of Lost Ark content, be sure to just subscribe, like, follow all my socials. Sometimes I stream on Twitch, but YouTube, I'll post dungeon runs and I'll do guides like this. So hope you guys enjoy, and let's just dive right in. So right off the bat, you're gonna notice sidebar usage, or sidebar. I guess the number of bars filled is gonna be 2. And you have Jaderico, Azena, and Infernia. Jaderico is for breaking the boss's armor. If you notice, the boss is gonna have 3 stacks of armor. And you generally want to break those so that your DPS can efficiently, hit the boss and get the max damage that they can do per skill. Azena is for doing additional damage, and Infernia is for helping your temperature meter. So hopefully, you don't use Infernia every single time. You should be bringing Flame Scrolls to help with the temperature meter a little bit more, so you could avoid using Infernia if possible. But the first side skill usage is actually any time before 240 HP bars of the boss. Reason being is you want to wait till you get at least the full 3 bars, and you could use Jaderico to break one of the armor stacks. So you have to just wait for one normal pattern where the boss is sort of staying still. So like this pattern right here that's showing, that's like a perfect pattern to use Jaderico on. Just anytime the boss is standing still, you can guarantee a hit from using a Jaderico. So I'll fast forward a little bit. I'll see when I use it. You just want to use it anytime the boss is standing still and it's before 240 HP bars. So here, in this VOD, I should be waiting here. Now, looks like I'm choosing to use a Jaderico here. Break the armor. Now the boss has no armor stacks, because the first time we broke it was when we threw the Koro off the rip. Second time is probably just using, skills and damaging the boss in general, because that'll take off some of his, or take away one of his other stacks, and the Jaderico would just break the other piece. So now, heading into the 240 mech, you shouldn't have any armor stacks. And the reason why you don't use Infernia is because you have Flame Scrolls. And typically, at least the group that I run with, we all just use Flame Scrolls right before we have to do the co-op counter. So right there in the VOD, we decide to do that. So that's the first side usage. The second side usage, it comes around 180 HP bars. Now, you again want to make sure that you have Jaderico 3 bars plus the 1, so 4 total. And you want to be able to cast it twice. That's the most efficient way to use it. It's okay if you have just 3 bars, but 4 is definitely going to make it way easier for you. So it's better if you don't have to use Infernia at all. But you're going to wait until 180 bars. The boss is going to do a mechanic that's going to, indicate the timer. Essentially, I call it the shield mech, because you have to break the shield. But here it is coming up. The timer is going to show up on the top left. You're going to need to, guard and defend. So if I just back it up, essentially I wait until 56 seconds of the timer. So you got to look to the top left. Wait till 56 seconds. Cast the first cast of Jaderico. Just guard. And then as soon as this next cast is up, you cast it so that you can break another piece of the armor. So if you notice now, the boss has no armor stacks. And you're, hopefully someone threw a dark lit we did, and it's going to be way easier to DPS the boss in terms of breaking that shield. And as you can see, we are working right now towards breaking that shield, and you spend less time in this chill pool, which is going to really eat away your temperature meters. So this is a bit of an older VOD, I forgot to say that earlier, but so the damage isn't going to be as high as some of your homework runs. But all the better, because now you'll see the true usage of the side skills that we ended up doing. So that's the second usage of Jaderico. You essentially get past the shield part, and you're pretty much DPSing it until the next phase, which is going to be at 120 HP bars. So if we just fast forward here, I like to save the side until after transition. So after everyone's running, you're going to end up with at least like, typically you'll end up with like 3 bars or not even 4, depending on your DPS. This is actually when I will choose to look at everyone else's temperature meters. And as you can see, everyone just decided to use flame scrolls, but we just used up like our last kind of few flame scrolls. So I'll just be like, okay, do we want to top everyone off? Like, you notice that some people only have half, some people, got full, and we still have to do the second shield break mechanic, which you want, 4 bars of the side skill. Now, you want to use Jaderico at that part, of course. But right now, as it stands, after this mech, you're going to regain at least a bar of the side skill usage. So you just have to kind of, as the party lead, determine if it's worth it to Efernia after this mech, or if it's worth it to just hold the side skill, because your DPS is so good that you're going to get to the 60 bars, which is when the next shield mech happens. So what I recommend is, if your DPS is just average, I think it's just safe to play this mech first, right? You stagger it and everything, and then the boss is going to be jumping around, but this is actually a perfect time where the boss is almost staggered here, right? So you stagger the middle, and then you have to stagger the boss again as it, runs around and picks up its weapons, right? Jumps around and picks up its weapons. Now, I probably mistimed it here, but right before the boss gets fully staggered when she's jumping around, cast Efernia. Reason being is you can tap everyone off, so I probably do it a little bit late. But the reason why you just use Efernia is it just helps regain everybody's temperature meter a little bit. Don't bother using the second cast unless, everyone is actually, really bad temperature. I only use the first proc, especially for re-clears. Just because everyone can typically dodge now, right? So it just helps tap everyone off, and then you don't have to worry. Now, you pretty much just need to DPS until it's like, whatever the bars is, 40 or 60 bars, to the shield mech part. So at this case, we regained some of the sidebars, right? And now we are almost at least to the first proc of Jaderico. It's always safe, especially if you have like pugs or if you're playing with your group, to have at least one cast of Jaderico for the next shield break part. It just makes that mech so much easier, because not everyone is going to be carrying so many corrosives. In this run, I'm running explosive expert, so I can just throw corrosives at will pretty much. But yeah, Jaderico, as you can see, is going to be ready. It's going to be up. Our DPS is actually pretty good this run, so we're probably going to be able to hit the mech pretty fast. And unfortunately, we won't have the second proc, so we'll have to do a little bit extra work to break the extra armor stack. So right now, he's got a couple armor stacks, and we're going to mech right here. So again, same exact thing as the first time. Wait till 56 seconds. Cast Jaderico. It's going to break the armor. Obviously, we don't have the second cast. Ideally, the second cast is going to help do this part a lot easier. But, unfortunately, we just throw corrosive instead, and we're just got to DPS it down and break the armor the other way, so that we could actually DPS the boss, further and break the shield in time. So that's pretty much all the side skill usage, to be honest. Once you break the shield, you're pretty much in a DPS race to the finish. And obviously, if you haven't killed the boss and you do get like 3 bars full, I would highly recommend just using Jaderico if the boss does have like 3 armor stacks. Otherwise, you would just use Azena for extra damage. But if there are still armor stacks and your team is run out of corrosives, I would just use Jaderico, because Jaderico will just get rid of the armor, and then you'll also do a little bit of damage to her. So that's pretty much it for Gate 1 hard mode. That's typically the the two ways that I'm using the side skill. So hopefully you guys found that useful, and let's just go over to gate 2. Gate 2 I find is much easier to use the sides, because there's only like a few instances that I actually use the side skills. So as you can see off the rip, you pretty much got two bars to start off with. You have your 3 side skill characters. You have what's his name, Gustavin, Nineveh, and Azena. I hardly use Gustavin, mostly just Nineveh and Azena. But Gustavin can be useful, especially in normal runs, just for like fast reclears and you start losing people at 145 mech. I'll go skip to the very first time I use personally the side skill usage, but I've seen it done differently as well. Because if your DPS is really good, some people, as soon as they get to phase 2, they'll Azena as soon as Brel is standing still and there's a good mech. But for me, if you just want safe reclears, I would highly recommend just saving Nineveh until the full meter mech. So if you notice, Brel has like the gauge here. I typically save the meter or side skill until the full meter mechs, just because you want to use Nineveh for those parts, and you don't want to risk not destroying those crystals. So play this out here. So full meter mech happens. You remember, people with the brands need to stack so that the crystals will drop, and then essentially this is when you have to use Nineveh. So as the lead, what you're going to do is, as soon as the crystals land, there's going to be some ice shards that shoot out, like right exactly here in the VOD. And as soon as those shoot out, you wait for exactly like 1 second after they disappear, and then you cast Nineveh in a direction. Reason why you wait 1 second is because you could cast Nineveh to destroy the crystals, but that extra second will give you time to also hit the boss as soon as she spawns back. So we can replay it again, where again, wait 1 second, cast Nineveh, and it's going to hit both the crystals and get a little bit extra damage onto the boss. So that's the reason why you wait 1 second. If you are worried about the timing and your DPS is really good, then don't sweat that. But generally, I think people will wait 1 second after the ice shards shoot out, so that they could get the extra damage onto Brel. Now, I typically don't use the second proc of Nineveh anymore because the DPS is generally really good in the groups that I run in now. If your DPS is slow, you might need to use the second proc in Nineveh, and it just shoots straight. It's pretty easy to just use it when she's pretty much standing still. But as you can see, our DPS is pretty good at this point, so I chose not to use the second proc, and we're just going to wait it out till the next part. The next time that there is a full meter mech, again, I'll just replay it. It's going to be the exact same deal, and I'll just provide the commentary in the background. Stack the brands in the middle, wait till the crystals come down, wait till the ice shards shoot out, wait 1 second, cast Nineveh, and then you'll see that they're going to destroy the crystals, and they're going to hit Brel at the same time. Boom. Easy. That's the only time you're ever using, Nineveh in pretty much phase 2. So that's all the times that I'm really using Nineveh, and that would be the second side skill usage so far in this gate. The next time that I actually use the side skill would be in phase 3, which is the basement. So basement is going to have some different patterns. Typically in hard mode, you'll still at least go through 2 full meter mechs, which is why typically you're going to see your Sidereal skills, not fully full at the basement. So in the basement, it's kind of just up to you, and you'll have to read the situation to fit your DPS and how many people are left, right? Typically, I will wait until Brel is standing still. I know for sure that she's gonna be standing still. So like in this mech right here, when you have to do the Just Guard, this is a very good time to use the side. I would just use what the first proc of a Zena at this point, right here. I would not use the second proc because you need the second proc for the 0 phase. But we'll see what I choose to do here. It looks like I'm just gonna wait until the full meter mech and then use it, which is perfectly fine as well. So we'll just fast forward a bit. So here we're gonna play the full meter mech. Obviously she's gonna be standing still, so this is a perfect time to use the side skill. So you only want to use the first proc. Only use the first proc here because we're, as you can see, we're at 60 bars already in the basement, and we probably have enough damage. Everyone's alive, so your damage is gonna be pretty good as long as everyone's alive. Yeah, just use only the first proc. That way you'll have side skill usage for the 0 phase. So all in all, in phase 3, what I'm saying is just wait till the boss is standing still for hard mode and just use one cast, and you should be perfectly fine. Disclaimer, this is probably just not for super whaled out groups, by the way, because your damage isn't going to be that fast where it's going to, you won't have side up for, the last phase. So I think this is the final phase. The final phase, you need to do the secret Azena, which is going to happen at around 3 minutes and 5 seconds. And what you're going to have to do, and when we get to it, I'm going to describe it, but you want to make sure you have at least full meter, and you're going to need to be ready to use Control C. Here, I guess I'll just do some commentary. We're going to play the Just Guard, or the Hyper pattern, or you got to step out, and we're pretty much just waiting until like 3:05 to play the special Azena, essentially, which is her pattern is she's gonna go shoot some balls around, and she can charm you. Here I'm not even bothering to hit the boss because I'm just trying to wait for the secret Azena. But she's gonna shoot some balls around. She could charm you if you are looking, which is why no one looks. And then you just cast Control Z. So she shoots the balls around, and you want to make sure that she shoots out like 3 or 4 balls first, because if you cast it too early, then the secret Azena is not gonna work. So you gotta wait till this happens, like she's actually like shooting the balls around. So I'll play this out again. But yeah, I wait until she does like a full rotation of shooting the balls, and then I use the secret Azena, and then you pretty much have free reign to just freely DPS. And here, I would just use the second proc as soon as it's up, but you're not gonna get it if you use this, secret Azena, so you might as well just save it. She does do the secret Azena again, that same pattern where she shoots the balls out. She does do it again at 30 seconds, so if you did miss the window and you didn't have side up, just survive until 30 seconds left, and then she'll shoot the balls around again, and then you can use it then. So just again, make sure that she shoots the, at least like 4 or 5 balls around, and then you cast it, because I made that mistake before. So that's hard mode, Brel Gate 1 and 2. I really didn't want to make the video that long, but given how many different scenarios there could be, and just the timings of them and explaining everything between Gate 1 and Gate 2, it did turn out a little longer than I wanted. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know if it helped you guys out or if you guys do anything differently. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.